What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy D Dice. Now today, let's get into some Game of Thrones, shall we? Now, arguably, this is the greatest and best Game of Thrones episode I have ever seen. This is going to be my favorite episode, other than when Tyrion went to court against his father and the rest about killing King Joffrey. That was my all-time favorite episode. Now, this is. And I loved it because it was an hour and 25 minutes. So you got to see everything. And the fact that I love this episode because you were so worried about all your main characters. Who was going to die? Everyone kept a tight lip. Nobody spoiled anything. So you just don't know. This was literally the first time in any TV show or episode, my palms were sweating. Like literally, it was just, water was dripping out. I got up, I walked around the room, pacing, screaming at the TV. Like I was so fully invested because you just didn't know. And the anxiety I've got from this episode, oh my gosh, it was up there. I felt my heart jumping out of my chest. Literally, because the episode starts when Sam is just kind of like nervous, but I'm like, Sam, what are you doing out there? Why are you fighting? Go in the crypts. Just why are you fighting? You could have been helped down there. As we seen, he could have been a lot more help down there. But you know, he was out there. He wanted to fight, and I was just like, that's admirable. And you just got to see everyone set up and how. I just knew it was going to be crazy when Melisandre had came and was like, tell the Dothraki soldiers, lift their swords up. And that was something to behold. It was really amazing how she put fire in all of their swords. And I'm just kind of like, wow, this is something to really behold. And they did their chant and like, as they're walking, as they're riding their horses out there into the dark, and then you see Dany and Jon just way on the mountain cliff, just kind of like watching. You know, it's kind of like watching the battle, just, you know, kind of like this is my moves. It's like chess match. It's like playing chess. And you just see how all their fire, as far as the whole army, it just starts turning black. And I'm just like, what the? Everybody's heart dropped, like. And I'm just like, oh my God, they are all going to die. This is what you're about to do. I dropped my head. I'm just like, oh my gosh. As far as Brienne, Jaime, Podrick, Ser Jorah, Sam, old boy from the Night's Watch, everyone's going to die. And I was just like, please God, no. So Dany couldn't take that anymore, although that was not part of the battle plan. Is she just couldn't stand to see her Dothraki army just obliterated like that, because she sacrificed and went through so much to get that Dothraki army and for them to follow her. She went through a lot of struggles. That's something I really, really understood. So that's why I'm just telling myself, I'm like, she just broke all the battle plans. She was just like, nope, I'm about to light them up with fire, because I'm like, how dare you do that to my army? And that was the army that she was closest to. So when they start doing that, and then that's when the army of the dead was starting to come, and then, you know, everyone just started fighting. When they first started fighting, then it was like, damn, it's a lot of the dead that it was just too much for them to handle. Way too much. And as you see Melisandre looking at Sir Davos, like, hey, I'm going to be dead by dawn. Don't even worry about trying to kill me. I know you said if I come back, you'll kill me. Don't worry about that. I'll be dead by dawn. Trust me. And you just started, and it just started panning out from the battle to down in the crypts of Winterfell to the wall of Winterfell, and you just looking at different aspects and different characters, how they're dealing with this war, with this battle. And I'm just like, with Tyrion and Sansa, you know, Arya was like, hey, take this, go down in the crypts, because this is like, looks like we're really going to die. And I want, as your sister, I want you to try to live or fight as hard as you can. And it was a touching moment when Arya gave her the blade and was like, and Sansa looks at her like, I don't know how to use this. And she was just like, man, just stick it with the pointy end. I was like, damn, my heart dropped, and it was just kind of like, just it's beating in my stomach. I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, man. Like, so the Army of the Dead's getting close, and they having to fall back. And I'm just looking at Tormund, I know his name is not Sir Baron, but Barrister or something like that. The dude with the one patch with the fire sword, and Clegane. I'm just kind of like, man, they're all fighting and then they're just falling back. And then Grey Worm is like, man, light the pit around the castle. And so Davos is waving like, man, I'm like, they can't even see. So it scared me a little bit when Jon and Dany's riding the dragon, and then that big snowstorm starts coming, and then I'm like, damn, they are doomed, because now you can't even see. Like, you can't even see what's going on. You don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know out there. So they're trying their best to find and burn as many dead as possible, and then out of nowhere, you know, Bran is getting protected. You just start seeing the Night King and his dragon just like way up there. Like way up there. So Jon and Dany see him, and then they start fighting in the air with dragons. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like somebody's going to die. And out of nowhere, you know, I just knew that Khaleesi was going to die when the fire was like breathing, like, and he was trying to get Khaleesi on her dragon. I'm just like, oh my God, no. Any given moment, somebody's going to die. I just felt it, like any given moment. So, and then it pans back to the battle where everyone, you know, gets all the way back into the castle. Melisandre comes out, and there was something about when Melisandre looked at Grey Worm was like Vala Morghulis and Vala Mahad. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, Grey Worm is going to die this episode. And Grey Worm is fighting him back into the castle, and Melisandre's looking at him like, man, hey, I asked to burn it. They're not burning the little fire pit. Melisandre goes out there. She starts praying over the wood like, man, it needs to light on fire. And at the last second, she got it to light. And I'm just like, wow, man. Like, and even Sir Davos is kind of like looking at her like, man, well, yeah, I see where your values are. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are somewhat valuable to this battle, which she was. I look at it like in that sense. As the fire led the dead back, that's when the Night King just did this. And he had the strategy. He was like, man, lay some of the dead people over the fire so you could like build like a little bridge through the fire so you guys can keep going. And when that happened, I was like, oh shit, it ain't looking too good, man. Like, it ain't looking too good at all. So when the Night King finally gets down, and then it's like Bran tells Theon, that was a really touching moment between Bran and Theon, because I feel like Theon needed to hear that. You know, as far as, man, hey, look, you did your best. And Theon, when I say protected Bran, he killed everyone over there. And I'm like, you just see him as he ran out of arrows. He just started just slicing and dicing everybody. He protected Bran, and he did what he was meant to do. And then how Bran just looked at him was like, man, thank you. You know, you're a good man, Theon. Like, regardless of what you did, brought you here. Brought you back home. Like, it brought you at this exact moment. Knowing that you did all that stuff wasn't in vain. And Theon, for the majority of the seasons ever since that happened, Theon felt nothing but regret. Until it had to be Bran to tell him, like, look, dude, get over it. You know, you're a good dude. I get it. You were trying to press your dad. I get it. But you know in your heart that's not who you are and what you are. I know you're a good dude. So it goes to that, and then it goes to how Arya is in the battle, you know. Then Clegane's kind of like, you know, I'm like, there's too much fire, man. We're not going to win, dude. We're going to die. We're going to die. And as you start seeing the dead get into the castle, Arya just becomes that badass warrior. She is murking people in the stylish fashion. No look of fright on her face. Like, man, she lived up to every word as far as when she was talking to Gendry in last episode, as, you know, I've seen the dead. I look forward to seeing this face. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just like, she held up to that word in every sense. And I feel like when they was chasing her through the castle, it looked like a scary movie. It looked like The Walking Dead versus Zombieland versus zombie apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like their home turned into a horror show. And that was something I was like, oh shit, it's really getting bad. And when Clegane and Arya runs into that room and was like, where Barristan was kind of like, man, he got stabbed up, and they saw that Melisandre was in there. And Arya turns around and it's like, I know who you are. She was like, I know who you are. And she was like, yeah, you said you were going to see each other again. She was like, and here we are at the end of the world. She was like, remember what I told you? She was just like, yeah, you said I was going to kill people along the way. She was like, yeah, that was true. And she was just like, I also said that I saw people staring at me. Brown eyes, green eyes. And then she kind of paused, and blue eyes. And then Arya thought about it. That she gave her that thing like she thought about it. And then the catchphrase of the year was, what do we say in the face of the god of death? And Arya thought about it, because that was a reference to Syrio Forel told her in the first season. Not today. She thought about it, go. And after that, we just didn't know anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where's Arya running to? But it didn't dawn on me, because I'm just like, damn, is Clegane gonna die? Is Melisandre gonna die? So we didn't think about where Arya ran to. They were just trying to like, I'm gonna protect Arya, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh my gosh, like, what's gonna happen? Then it pans back to Theon, and then how Jon was trying to get the Night King, because they finally got him off, the Night King off, knocked him off his dragon. And Jon finds him out in the field, and the Night King is like, okay, yeah. And you see the badass moment with Daenerys on her dragon, on Drago, and the Night King is staring at her. And she just look at him like, Dracarys, like, burn him. And the Night King just takes it. And then as the smoke and the fire starting to clear up, he just still standing there like, And then the Night King gives you a smirk like, that ain't work. Yeah, so, oh well, that ain't work. So Dany's like, oh shit, yeah, I gotta get out of here. And he trying to throw his little dagger, his little spear, and miss. So Jon gets down from his dragon and then runs after the Night King. As a Night King, I feel like he could have been a little bit more quieter, to follow him all the way in. Otherwise, he wouldn't have worried about it. But he heard Jon, and then he turned around and was like, man, you running after me, really? And in the midst of all these dead people, like, you're gonna run after me? And Jon is about a nice 50 or 60 yards away from him. So he just like running towards him, and then he just starts doing this. I'm like, oh my God, Jon, you are not. Throw something at him, please. And he ends up resurrecting all of the dead that just died, making them a bigger army than what he just had, because it's all the dead that the dead just killed. So now it's way more enemies. It's going to overrun all the living. So Jon kind of sits back like, oh shit, I'm outnumbered. And the Night King just walks right into the castle. And Dany comes back, starts burning all the people around Jon. And then everyone starts jumping on the dragon. All the dead start jumping on the dragon, trying to stab him, which knocks Dany off, because the dragon is trying to like get everybody off, and he flies away. So now Dany is out there with no weapon, and she just out there. I'm just like, oh crap. And Jon already followed him into the castle. So Dany's essentially out there by herself. And then that's when you see Sir Jorah Mormont, my dude, come to Dany's defense for the last time. And I just told myself, even in the last review of episode 2, I'm like, I think who's going to die is Theon and Ser Jorah. I really do. And I was right, because that was the most honorable thing that Jorah did, knowing that he right all his wrongs, and knowing that he accepted that he loved Dany so much and she could never love him. But you can tell when he defended her, she even grabbed the sword and helping him, because, he's getting stabbed, and he's defending her with every inch that he got, with his last breath. Even when he got stabbed really bad and he fell all the way down, and she just like, oh my gosh, he gets back up like I gotta defend her. Like, she is not going to die on my watch. That was something honorable. That show almost brought tears to my eyes. Almost. Then it pans back to how Jon's trying to go after the Night King, and then the dead Viserion is blowing blue fire all through the castle, and I'm just kind of like, Jon's pinned down. So it's just Theon and the Night King. And like I said, Theon had that epic moment where he's just staring death in the face, knowing that death is inevitable, and I know I can't stop the Night King, but I'm going to try my best. And Theon just runs towards him and sacrifices himself, pretty much dies by the hand of the Night King. And, you know, before that, you know, Bran was like, thank you, thank you for holding up to your word. Because as in recent memories, Theon never really held to his word. He always chickened out, always ran. And that's when Bran was like, thank you for holding to your word. You said you would defend me as long as you can. And I'm just like, damn, this is how Theon dies with honor. You know, I tell myself with honor, knowing that all the hideous and all the messed up stuff that happened to him and what he did, he dies with honor. And I love that. And then it gets right up, as the Night King is getting right up to Bran. Bran is just staring at him, like, just staring. Then you hear this little general has the whisper behind his hair kind of flicks back, and out of nowhere, didn't realize it, didn't think about it, didn't comprehend it. Arya comes out of nowhere, just, and then I'm like, whoa. Night King grabs her by her neck, and she just like, she drops her sword, like, caught it with the other, because you only had me by, like, you just grabbed me by my neck. Boom, and stabs him. Killed the Night King. All the White Walkers are dead. I'm like, Arya Stark, the badass. Wow. Because you just knew it was imminent death. You knew it was imminent death when you seen Tyrion and Sansa really like, man, you know, this is the end for them, because as the Night King rose, all the dead in Winterfell came out to start terrorizing the people. So you just knew it was imminent death for everyone. And Arya saved everyone. I got to get me an Arya shirt. I'm sorry. I need to get me that's why I rock this. House Stark. You know what I'm saying? This is why I rock this shirt, because I just knew a Stark is going to hold it down in Winterfell. And I'm just kind of like, wow, man, like, I had to watch that episode twice. I didn't go to bed till like late last night. I had to watch it twice, because I was like, twice is nice. And it's just so satisfying to see someone that you didn't think about or had no envision that that'll happen. And Arya Stark did it, from a child in season 1 to killing the Night King in season 8, in the last season. I said, oh my gosh, girl, yeah, you definitely gotta be the Warden of the North, or be with Gendry, have kids, all that, and just be a badass warrior. Like, she's a warrior. So that ended it, and then you see Melisandre, you know, like, hey, my time here is done. She just, you know, dies off before the dawn. And I'm just kind of like, wow. I'm so ready for the next battle, which is against Cersei. I want to see how they take care of that problem. And I know they're going to take care of it. So if the people like Jaime Lannister, Brienne, Podrick, Tormund, who else? It's a couple of them that didn't die. I want to see who's going to die in that battle, because I feel like someone's going to die within that battle. If they didn't die at the Battle of Winterfell, they're definitely going to die for the Battle of the Iron Throne. And one more cliff note that I just wanted to make was Lyanna Mormont. I think that's her first name, Lyanna. Her send-off was so great. To say that she was a 13-year-old girl, was a warrior. Knocked down the giant, the littlest person in here, other than Tyrion, the youngest and the littlest at war, in battle, knocks down a giant, gets killed in the process, and just has a heroic send-off. And I'm just like, because they said that she was only supposed to be in one episode when Jon and Sansa went to go visit her. She was only supposed to do that one scene. And it was so powerful that they invited her back. She did another episode, and now she's just been in the season 8. So they had to have a heroic send-off to her character, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is the cousin of Ser Jorah Mormont. And you can see that with Jorah's dad, who was commander of the Night's Watch when in season 1, 2, and 3, under who was Lord Commander of Jon Snow and Sam. That was their dad, and this is his niece, And then you have Ser Jorah. So the Mormonts, they warriors through and through. They're all warriors. And you can just see from the youngest bloodline to the oldest bloodline, they're all warriors. And I really, really was like, damn, she did well. She did an excellent job playing that character. And I'm just ready for more, man. We only got 3 more episodes left. I want to see what happens and what's the fate of everyone. This one had me on the edge because you just didn't know who was going to die. And I love that. That is TV at its finest. At its finest. So, if you enjoyed my review of Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3, subscribe to my channel. Post a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Which battle was better? Game of Thrones, Battle of Winterfell, or the last battle of Endgame? Let me know. Let's talk about it. So, like this video and subscribe to my channel. It is your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.